Hey you guys, so today I thought I would take you through what's in my cart and some of the books that I have on my wish list. There are always tons of new books that I want to read, so these are just kind of like the current ones that I've been interested in as of lately, things that I've recently put in my cart on Amazon. A couple of them are newer or new releases, and some of them are books that I think have been around for a little bit longer. If you've read any of these, feel free to let me know below in the comments. And without further ado, let's just jump right into what's in my cart. I'm just gonna start at the top. None of these are really in a particular order, but I will list them all below. So the first one is Where the Crawdads Sing by either Delia or Delia Owens. Remember the store Delia's? Are they still around? I used to be obsessed with that when I was in middle school. They'd always send catalogs. Honestly, I don't know too much about this book. I remember reading the synopsis at Target one time and I thought, oh, that sounds really good. But when you go to hit the product details, nothing comes up. So I'm not entirely sure what this one's about. This is a fail, but like I said, I'll link it below. I know that it was part of like Reese Witherspoon's book club, which I love. I follow her on Instagram, of course, and then I follow like her book club on Instagram. I also have After and After We Collided by Anna Todd, which are the first two in the After series. So I had never really heard a lot about these, which is kind of weird because I love new adult romance, very similar from what I understand to like the Crossfire series or the 50 Shades of Grey series. I saw somebody share on Instagram a trailer for it, like a movie that's coming out. It's either going to be a movie or a TV show. Little like teaser says, Tessa didn't plan on meeting H during her freshman year of college, but now that she has, her life will never be the same. So we love a good romance with some angst. Everyone has all these skeletons in the closet. I also have The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I love K.A. Tucker. I read 10 Tiny Breaths by her several years back and I was a huge fan. The brief on it says, city girl Calla Fletcher attempts to reconnect with her estranged father and unwittingly finds herself torn between her desire to return to the bustle of Toronto and a budding relationship with a rugged Alaskan pilot and the masterful new romance from acclaimed author K.A. Tucker to visit her father. And then of course she stumbles upon like an unexpected romance that is probably different from her city life in Toronto. I haven't seen anybody show this. It's called the Undercover Bromance. I'm pretty sure that this is a young adult, like contemporary young adult book, and it's basically, let me see if I can find I hate this. Okay, my only thing is when they put product details, they show like the praise and like quotes and stuff about it, but sometimes they forget what the book is actually about. I found it. When in doubt, Google it out. Brandon Mack has read so many romance novels that he's confident he's an expert on romance in women. That's a very interesting spin because most men don't read romance novels. He is wrong. When Liv Papandreas landed a job working at the restaurant of celebrity chef Royce Preston 1 year ago, she knew she'd have to endure his infamous anger and abusive outbursts for the sake of her career. Catches him harassing someone, so she gets fired. After that, she turns to Braden Mack, the guy who's an expert on the ladies, and they like try to expose her boss or go after him or something. And I'm pretty sure then the two of them get together. So, you know, another twisted romance. This one is actually not a romance or even like a novel that you read, but I have the Infographic Guide to Personal Finance by Michelle Kagan and Elizabeth Lavery. I am very interested and fascinated by personal finance. I think as I've gotten into my 20s and especially my mid-20s, finance and saving and investing has become a lot more important to me. I feel like I have a good understanding of a lot of things, but I saw this and I thought that it would be an interesting read. So if you are not really in the loop on finance or investing, I'll link it below. Check it out. The next one is called The Library of the Unwritten. This one I saw Riley talk about on her channel and I thought it sounded really cool. She did like a reading vlog about it, which I will link below. Books that aren't finished by their authors reside in the library of the unwritten in hell, and it is up to the librarian to track down any restless characters who emerge from those unfinished stories. It kind of sounds a little creepy, but definitely very interesting. Somebody shared this on Goodreads and the cover grabbed my attention, and then once I read the synopsis I was like, oh, I want to read that. And then I realized it's been really popular, and it was part of the Reese book club as well, or Reese's book club. So this is Daisy Jones and the Six. Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars, and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. The sex and drugs are thrilling, but it's the rock and roll she loves most. By the time she's 20, her voice is getting noticed, and she has the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. For some reason, I get Fleetwood Mac vibes, Stevie Nicks, and just how they started as a band. And I love the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, all of the oldie music, rock and roll. I'm a huge fan. So I'm so excited for this. Gabriel's Inferno by Sylvan Reynard. This one I saw on a recommended list, romancy, and he might be like, not like a demon, but like I get those vibes because like the Inferno. If you ever watched Charmed, you know how, oh, what was his name? The guy that was with Phoebe who was like a demon. I can't remember, but it gives me those kind of vibes. I also have the Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This one sounds really cool too. Something hasn't been right at the roadside Sundown Motel for a very long time, and Carly Kirk is about to find out why in this chilling new novel from the USA Today best-selling and award-winning author of The Broken Girls. This reminds me of Bad Times at the El Royale, which came out I think 2 years ago, where there was some weird stuff going on at the motel. This one is a new release. It comes out March 10th. It's called Untamed by Glennon Doyle Melton, and the cover of this one drew me in. I thought that it looked very eye-catching and very cool. It's almost like nail polish or paint. This is how you find yourself. There's a voice of longing inside each woman. We strive so mightily to be good partners, daughters, mothers, employees, and friends. We hope all this striving will make us feel alive. Instead, it leaves us feeling weary, stuck, overwhelmed, and underwhelmed. We look at our lives and wonder, wasn't it all supposed to be more beautiful than this? We quickly silence that question, telling ourselves to be grateful, hiding our discontent even from ourselves. I think that that's something very relevant for all of us. I think we always, at least I always look on how I can be better, how I can do more, and sometimes it's easy to be overwhelmed by everything or to feel like you're not doing enough, or you know, why am I here when I want to be here? A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and I think this is a young adult. So it says, everyone in Fairview knows the story. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend, Sal Singh, who then killed himself. 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want her digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. Last one is Una Out of Order, a novel by Margarita Monomore. It's New Year's Eve 1982, and Una, is it Una or Ona? Una Lockhart has her whole life before her. At the stroke of midnight, she will turn 19, and the year ahead promises to be one of consequence. Should she go to London to study economics or remain at home in Brooklyn to pursue her passion for music and be with her boyfriend? As the countdown to the new year begins, she faints and awakens 32 years in the future in her 51-year-old body. Greeted by a friendly stranger in a beautiful house she's told is her own, she learns that with each passing year she will leap to another age at random. And so begins Una Out of Order. Hopping through decades, pop culture fads, and much needed stock tips, she's still a young woman on the inside but ever changing on the outside. Who will she be next year? Philanthropist, club kid, world traveler, wife to a man she's never met? Surprising, magical, and heart-wrenching, Margarita Monomore has created an unforgettable story about the burdens of time, the endurance of love, and the power of family. It's scary getting older and what aging brings, and I know a lot of people say that age is just a number, or you know, the older you get, the more wisdom you have and the more life experiences you get to experience, and all of that. But it's a scary world. I always find getting older and birthdays to be bittersweet for me. I feel kind of torn because on one hand, I think it's a blessing to get older and to age and to be wise and to gain experience in life. And if you start a family or you have kids or you get to do different things, I think that that's exciting. But I also think that leaving your youth behind and, you know, aging and growing older is also, I don't know, it's scary. I turned 26 this year. In January, I turned 26 and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm like on the upswing of my upper 20s. And I know people will go, well, you're crazy, like you're young, like even if you're 30s or 40s, you're young. And that's true, but it just seems so like, oh my gosh, like I don't feel like a 26-year-old. All right, that was kind of a lot. There's a lot of books. I will have them all linked below for you guys. Let me know if you are planning on reading any of them or if you've read any of them before. Definitely let me know about Daisy Jones because I feel like a lot of you probably have read that and I'm so excited. Like that's one of the top ones on my list for me. I'm really excited about Daisy Jones. So thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this video.